Hello?
Could you come up, please?
What for?
Do we have to have this argument every time?
I just like talking to you, that's all. Give me a couple of minutes, will you, boss? I was just testing that handgun that sent us in from district. Forensics might have a match for it.
Forensics can do their own dirty work. Do you want a coffee?
Why not?
I'm putting in for a transfer.
You what?
You may want to do the same.
You gone bananas?
We've got a new man coming on the strength, replacement for Sergeant Phillips.
So?
A Detective Chief Inspector Lewis. Nick Lewis.
DCI. So why the big deal?
Because they're reorganising the open files, and he's going to be in charge of them. And us.
And we're civil servants, not coppers.
Oh, the Home Office have agreed to it.
In charge of the open files. They're as dead as last year's turkey. What can he do that his mates haven't done already?
I'd imagine causes a lot of annoyance. I've got his career record on computer. Have a look.
Brutality.
So?
A report from your super. Inspector Lewis is lucky, in my opinion, to have escaped prosecution. Well?
The Senate case.
That's right.
Both of them have been known to carry shooters in the past. I had a young DC with me. I wasn't taking any chances.
You put one of them in hospital.
With respect, sir, he's been responsible for a lot more people going down.
Not the point, Lewis. We're taking you off the streets.
Well, like hell you are, sir. I'll resign first. I've not worn a uniform for 15 years, and I'm not going to start now.
I wear a uniform, Lewis.
Yes, sir, but you're an assistant commissioner. What would I be doing? Going round pubs to make sure they don't serve drinks after time? And running in 15-year-old tarts who haven't got the price of a kip? No, thank you,
Shut up.
sir.
I told you I'm taking you off the streets, and I am. We've got the press breathing down our necks 24 hours a day about police corruption and police inefficiency. All we want now is a new campaign on police brutality in your nice liberal Sundays, and they'll really have us.
So it's not just the brutality, so-called.
What do you mean?
You said police corruption.
I thought you'd bring Superintendent Mackey's name into it. You think you're the only one on the Met who's sorry about Joe?
Well, I didn't get him sacked, sir.
No, I did. But that doesn't mean to say I'm not his friend. So you can sit down, shut up, and listen. We've got a big reorganization program going on at the moment. I don't have to tell you that. By the time it goes through, we should have a much more efficient use of police time. That's the name of the game. The days when we could keep 50 coppers on a murder investigation for 2 years or so are gone. So now, and you've read the directives, you get your few months to come up with the answer. After that, the files go to G13.
Yes, where a few toffee-nosed civil servants put them in drawers and forget about them.
You sound bitter, Inspector. You should. That's where I'm sending you.
G13? Well, it's nothing but a warehouse.
As from next Monday, you'll be permanently based there as Chief Inspector in charge of all major open files.
Chief Inspector?
That's the rank that goes with the job.
Well, that's a pretty high rank for a filing clerk, sir.
It's either that or uniformed, Inspector. And before you start shouting, Nick, have a chat with Liz.
You in again? What's the matter with all the girlfriends this week? Oh, whiskey. Mother always said you'd wind up an alcoholic. Okay, Copper. Shoot. What's bugging you?
Well, I would have thought that a bright bird like you could guess.
Okay. She's clicked. Which one? Not that one in the police canteen with the, Not her, Nick. Please. Come on, Nick. Tell little daughter all about it.
I've lost my job.
Oh, Dad. No.
It's true.
Why?
Well, they're trying to shine up coppers' images. They don't like mine.
Because of Superintendent Mackey.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, You have been stirring things up about him, haven't you?
He was my boss. I've got a lot of time for Joe.
Yes. People don't like too much loyalty when it's not for themselves. Is that it?
Well, that and other things.
But they can't sack you now. Not after all these years.
Well, it's not the sack, kid. Not exactly. They're putting me out to grass.
Office job?
Well, how did you know that?
That's police work, isn't it? Some of you bash people about, and others fill in forms telling lies about it. And you wouldn't like telling lies.
Well, it is an office job, yes. But more of an office sweeper. Sweeping up after people.
Is it permanent?
I don't know.
Are you going to do it?
Well, what do you think?
Office doors work two ways. You can go in, and you can come out. Can you?
Miss Burton?
That's right.
I'm Nick Lewis.
Yes. We heard you were coming. Phil. Chief Inspector Lewis.
Hi.
Hello.
Would you like a coffee?
Thank you. Can I dump this?
That's your desk, Inspector.
Thank you. Nice and clean. And empty. Thank you.
Right, I'll be down the lab then.
I hear you put in for a transfer.
News travels fast.
Heard at the yard this morning. Anything to do with me?
Should it be?
Well, you've been here 8 years. Thoroughly efficient civil servant. Unmarried, but a good, steady relationship with a highly respected Home Office barrister. No change as far as anybody knows, except here. Me coming here. Am I right?
My private life has nothing to do with the Home Office. It certainly has nothing to do with the Metropolitan Police. Or you.
Too true. That a computer leak you've got on your desk?
It's a video screen to the computer, yes.
And you're going to tell me that you didn't start pressing buttons as soon as you heard who the yard was sending down here? Come on, Miss Burton. Look, I don't want this job any more than you want me here. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a copper. Now, I've done my share of paperwork. Everybody in the force does. But the idea of sitting behind that all day long doesn't appeal to me one little bit. So if you think I'm going to get in your elegant hair, Miss Burton, you can think again.
We've had instructions to give your work priority. For the rest of my time here, I will do my best to carry them out.
Well, I can see we're going to get along just famously.
This is the main storeroom. It used to be called the Prisoners' Property Stores.
It was in my time.
You've been here before.
2 years ago, looking for some bent television sets. They weren't here.
It's mainly stolen property. We spend most of our time looking for the owners. That is to say, we used to.
Oh, hi.
This is basically our test room. Our procedure has been to check on makes and types of a good deal of things that are stolen. I'll leave you with Mr. Strong. He'll explain it to you better.
You seen the rest?
Most of it?
She's not as bad as all that, you know.
No.
Why, what do you think?
I've met warmer icebergs.
Look, I'll show you something. Look. She's not all that bad, you know.
No.
Why, what do you think?
I've met warmer icebergs.
Hey, I'll show you something. Look.
It's a nice little toy.
It's beauty. Phone's got a bug in it, of course. But this one picks up at over 80 feet. Imagine that. No privacy nowadays, is there? Clever chap was old Jonesy.
Well, Charlie Jones make this?
You knew him?
I was at his funeral. Well, how come you got this gear? Charlie was never captured.
His missus. She bunged it all in the local nick after he died. All his gear. Plate cutters, jelly, the lot. Says she was scared having it around the house.
Old Charlie.
One of the pros. Come on, Squire, I'll show you around my little kingdom.
But what the hell do you mean by machismo?
All right, then, male chauvinist pig, if you prefer
What,
it.
me?
You're probably making the poor woman's life a misery.
Now listen, you. This is one very case-hardened lady who makes your mother look like little Dorrit.
Mother again? Whenever you lose your temper, you drag mother
And
in.
I am not losing my temper.
Oh, yes, you are.
All right, I am.
Pig.
All right, I'm a pig as well.
I'll get the coffee. Is she good looking?
Yes, I suppose so.
Ah, so that's it
Look,
then.
I don't want any of your old crap about Beauty and the Beast.
Your hackles always go up if they're good looking. Is she dark?
Why?
Thought she would be.
Your mother happens to be blonde.
Not now, Dad.
No?
She's gone brunette.
Dyeing her hair at her age?
She's younger than you are, and don't say it's different for a man.
I wasn't. I was going to say it's different for a woman.
Nick, this Kate Burton, she's been doing her job all these years. She knows exactly what she's doing and what she's got to do.
Oh, you can bet on it.
Whereas you...
Now, whereas me, I just read files and ask her to check out the odd discrepancies on her little old computer.
But these files, they're all police cases, aren't they?
So?
So? Solve some of them. That's what you used to do, isn't it?
Liz, do you realize that on all the big cases, they've had teams of a dozen or so, and they haven't come up with the answers?
They're not my old daddy, though, are they? Tell you what,
What?
they never really ever solved the Jack the Ripper murders, did they?
Haven't you got any work to do?
It can wait. I'll wash up.
No, I'll do it.
No, you've had a hard day at the office.
Liz?
What?
Thank you.
What for?
You mentioned Jack the Ripper.
So?
Well, the Met could have solved that case if they'd wanted to. Now, I'm thinking of a case they couldn't solve. Oh, thanks, Bob. On the desk here.
You want something?
Yes, take a seat. This is the Benny Rogers file, Miss Burton.
Yes, I can see.
Shot in the head, Hampsted Heath, about 4 years ago. You're not still working on that thing, are you?
It's still open as far as we're concerned.
It'll be open forever, that one will.
And what's Miss Burton's opinion?
If you want to occupy your time better, I would suggest a crossword puzzle.
Oh, somebody must have shot him.
Yes. Nobody's come up with a name yet.
Right. And yet, you know, this case is cited as a model example of police work. They interviewed everybody who could have had any possible motive for blowing Benny away. Well, they took about 2,000 statements, they checked with Interpol and the FBI, and proved conclusively that nobody could have shot him.
The body must have been a bit of an embarrassment.
Inspector, are you intending to reopen that file?
No, it's never been closed. The Met's had it 4 years, it's been here 3 weeks. We don't close murder files.
Yeah, but Nick...
But what?
Well, I know you get a bit bored around here, but...
Maybe the inspector wants to amuse himself. And us.
You read me like a printout. Well?
I'm not here to question your decisions.
I'd like your willing cooperation. Phil?
I gave up doing crossword puzzles years ago. Got too easy. What do you want done?
These are the forensic slides. Can I see them this morning?
See him now, if you want.
Come on, then.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes?
I would suggest we check with the computer on the suspect list. Rogers may not be the only one dead after 4 years.
That's him. Nice-looking fella, wouldn't you say? Corpus delicti.
And we'll skip the ex-certificate stuff, Phil. Let's see where they found him.
Nice bit of timber. Persons interviewed re Benny Rogers.
That's Solly King. Here's his house.
Must have money.
Plenty. Keep turning.
This is the list of suspects still living. And that's a list of principal investigating officers.
Thank you.
Do you need anything else? I usually go to lunch now.
No. No, thank you. Sorry. Bon appetit. Yeah, hello, records? This is extension 2184. Now, I'd like some information on an ex-officer, Superintendent Hanlon. Yeah, John Hanlon. He left the force about 3 years ago. You ring me back. Well, thank you.
I could have got you that information.
No, you couldn't. You're at lunch.
Hanlon?
I hope you remember me, Mr. Hanlon. Nick Lewis. We used to meet at the police rifle club.
Lewis? Oh, yes. Detective Sergeant, aren't you?
Well, I was. I've been promoted. Now, I wondered if I could buy you lunch. I want to pick your brains.
Well, somebody's got in before you. I'm lunching on a client today. What's the problem?
The Benny Rogers case.
Well, you lot still working on that? Has anything new come up?
Oh, no, not really, but I would like to see you, though.
Well, come round tomorrow about 12. I'll take you for a pint down the golf club later. All right?
That's perfect. And thanks very much, Super.
Oh, don't thank me. That's one case that still knocks me. I'll be picking your brains.
But that's the filth.
Was the filth. Ex-Detective Super.
It's not sensible to do a contract on the filth.
Ex-filthy ain't filth. His ex-mates won't worry. Take my word for it.
I don't want to do it, Tony. Sticking your neck out, that is.
For 5 big uns?
$5 grand, that's what he's paying.
That's right. 5 grand.
When?
Very soon. This Hanlon's getting too close to our fella.
How are we going to take him?
Easy. He's got an office down the Fulham way. Has to park his car around the corner. Off the double yellers.
Oh, that's better. That way I don't mind.
You got any stuff?
Enough for a little job, yeah.
Right. I'll pick you up about 11 tomorrow then.
I'll have it ready.
Good morning, Inspector.
Miss Burton, could you drop the inspector bit from time to time? The name is Nick.
I know. Thank you. You're in early.
Well, I've got to go and see a man this morning, and by all accounts, he's not an idiot. So I'd like to know a bit about him first.
One of your suspects?
Solly King.
But you've met him before.
Well, you do know my file well. Yes, I've met Solly before. Long time ago. I'm keeping up to date. I'm seeing him at half 10. I've left his number on your pad if you want me. And please, don't tell me it's 9 o'clock now and he only lives a couple of miles away. I do know, honest.
There's another number on my pad. 12 o'clock?
Jack Hanlon, having lunch with him. See you, Kate.
You're Inspector Lewis.
That's right, sir.
I remember you. You can go, Bruno. Myra, give Mr. Lewis a cup of tea. Sit down.
Thank you.
Reminded me of old times, your call did.
I didn't realize that you'd had an accident, Mr. King.
No. No, not an accident, a stroke. But I still got my brains. What's your mob still mucking about with this Rogers business for, eh?
It's still open.
So is Harrods. At least so they tell me. I don't get about much these days. I've got all the money in the world, but I don't go nowhere. You tried to nick me once.
I was hoping you'd forgotten.
Never forget anything. Especially people who tried to nick me. Myra, love, go into the house. We've got some serious business to talk. Mr. Lewis will push me back. Go on, then. Ever see anyone more beautiful?
Not anywhere.
You see, I got everything. Beautiful wife, lovely house, heated swimming pool, tennis courts. Look over there. Not bad, eh? What do you want to know about Rogers?
Who knocked him off? Or even for starters, why he got chopped.
Who knows? Pig like that, anyone could have killed him. Me say. I had a lot of good boys around the house in those days. I was, in business. I think any one of them would have cut his throat. For nothing. Push me back to the house, will you? He was a pig to his wife, a pig to his child, a pig to his friends, a grass like there never was. You know what I'd like to think?
No. Tell me.
I'd like to think that nobody ever gets pulled for this job. But I don't think they will. Why am I talking to you? Tell me that.
Well, like you say, you've got a beautiful house, lovely view over the heath. Only one thing wrong. Benny Rogers got chopped outside your back garden wall. What you might call sacrilege. Now, if you did, I think I'd understand.
You're a bright boy, Lewis. Yeah. Yeah, sacrilege. Listen, I'll tell you something. Your people spend a lot of time and money on the Rogers job. I spent more, and I got better connections than you. You know what I come up with? A handful of bird droppings.
About as much as us.
Except, I know why he was here.
You didn't tell the police?
So? He had a pair of good binoculars round his neck. You know that?
Of course.
Well, I had half the take of that big Chancery Lane job in my bedroom safe.
Well, that's nice of you to tell us now.
So, what can you do? It's all gone over the water years ago.
£250,000 in uncut diamonds.
I think I did a bit better than that.
You had that lot in your box when they were questioning you?
When you tried to nick me, I had it in my pockets. You stay poor if you don't take a chance.
So tell me more.
Do I need to? This pig of a Benny Rogers had a pair of bins, right? And my safe is bang in front of the bedroom window.
At that distance?
Well, if they were good enough, he'd read me.
But you didn't have him chopped.
I had a lot of good boys in those days, like I told you. Don't remember one of them ever using a sawn-off.
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. King.
Bruno? Give Mr. Lewis a rest. Get your big muscles to work.
Well, thanks again. Solly?
That's better. Listen. You want to know what a piece of manure Benny Rogers was? Ask his wife. You know?
No.
She married one of the Bensons. They've got a little place in Bethnal Green. Nice people. Go and have a look at her. Come on.
Which way do the numbers run? You know?
There's 51 over there.
Well, if you look through the statements, you know how far we got. Nowhere fast. We're all in every professional in London. We checked out in all the major cities. Nothing and nobody.
Only the pros.
Oh, come on, Nick. He was blown up with a sawn-off. Who else?
Yes, that's got to be right.
Oh, I'd like to speak to the managing director, please. Hanlon. And don't forget, he'd been beaten to hell and back. Broken arms, broken ribs.
Not pretty. I saw the photos.
So somebody disliked him that much. Looked as though we'd have had the job sorted out overnight, but it's still open.
Is there anything you know that's not in the reports?
No, no, you've got the look. Oh, hello. Okay, I'll call back this afternoon. Goodbye. Come on, Nick. I'll buy you that beer before you get depressed. Mind you, if you get too depressed, you can always come in this game. You may not get the glamour, but it's a lot safer.
Who's the other geezer?
Why worry? My car's there. Shall I follow you?
No, you'll never keep up with me. One of the perks of being private is that you can afford a decent car. Brand new Rover. Not bad, eh?
Shouldn't be having trouble with your battery then.
Battery? Starts like a dream.
Why change the battery?
What the hell are you talking about?
Jake! Don't get in!
You lost your marbles.
There was a mechanic changing your battery when I parked.
What would he... Oh, come on, Nick.
I swear to God.
You better be right.
Well, you try me, but stay away from that car.
They suspect, Tony. Let's get out of here.
Shut up!
The other geezer. He spoke to me. I thought he was law.
So what?
So we find out who he is.
Well, he can't do anything. He doesn't know you.
He saw me. He spoke to me. You don't think I'm going to let any copper put the finger on me, do you?
Well, the bomb squad got here double quick.
Hello, Fred.
What happened?
Scotch and water.
Right, 2 scotch, please. Well, we'll soon know.
I don't make mistakes like that, Jack.
Maybe a bloke who wanted to have a look underneath the bonnet, eh? Ah, thanks, Fred.
What for?
Motor freak. Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
urgent call for you. The Assistant Commissioner's office.
Chief Inspector Lewis, I believe you want me. Yeah, hello, sir? Yes, that's right. Yeah, well, not so far as I know, sir. No, I'm just going to have lunch with him. Not really on a case, we're just clearing something up. Well, sir, tell you the truth, the Benny Rogers business. Yeah, I know that, sir. Yeah, I know that. Well, it's a damn funny case that's of no interest to anybody if it leads to a £5 bomb being put in your car. I'm all right, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Friday morning. I'll be there. Well, it looks as though you'll be losing me sooner than you expected. That was the boss.
Was that true?
What?
A bomb in your car?
Well, not my car. Jack Hanlon's. Well, mind you, we were both going to get in it.
And it's to do with this Rogers case?
Oh, it can't be. They were trying to knock Jack off, not me.
Yes, but he was in charge of the case once.
Well, I don't honestly see it. Do you?
I'm not much of a judge.
Would you, like a trip out tomorrow?
Work?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Benny Rogers' ex-missus. I want to go and see her. I'd like you to come.
I have an appointment at lunchtime.
In the morning. I'll get you back by 12.
Yes. Here?
First thing.
I've just spoken to Danny. He's got the information.
Look, what you bothered about the skeezer for?
I told you he saw me. Now we've got to get rid of him before we can deal with Anne.
Oh, I don't know, Tony. What'd Danny say?
He's been asking around down the local Nick. He's got good contacts there. Seems this fella's called Lewis. I don't know where he lives, but he works out of that place in North London. You know, where they keep all the bank gear.
You don't get out of the office very often, do you?
Not really, no.
So you'll enjoy yourself.
Where are we going exactly?
We're calling on a lady.
Yes?
Mrs. Benson?
Yes?
I'm a friend of Mr. King, Solly King. He asked me to look you up. This is Miss Burton.
Solly King. Come in.
Thank you.
Sit down.
Thank you.
And how's Solly doing? I've not seen him since he left hospital.
Oh, he's as bright as ever.
Take a lot to get Solly down. Are you law?
Do I still look it?
You're not Solly's side of the business, that's for sure.
No. Chief Inspector Lewis.
And I don't suppose you've come here to pass the time of day. You law too?
Oh, no, I'm not in the police.
No. You're too good looking. I could phone Solly up and ask him.
Well, sure. Nick Lewis. I'll talk to him.
No. You've got a straight face for a copper. A few years ago, you wouldn't have got through that door, you know that? Now, anybody can come in here. There's not a stick of wood or a piece of thread in this house that's not been paid for honestly. And how many coppers' wives can say that?
Well, lay off, Sally. I'm not married.
In with a chance, aren't you? So, what do you want?
Well, I went to see Solly yesterday. It's about the Benny Rogers killing.
What about it?
Well, we've still got it on the books.
I don't remember you on the case.
I wasn't, but it's in my lap now.
And you want to clear it up?
Well, more or less.
And how do I come in?
Well, nobody's questioned you for over 3 years. You may have heard something since then.
Not a thing. Wish I had.
Yes, it's not a pleasant way to lose your husband.
Know what I'd have done if I knew he'd killed Benny? I'd have given him everything I'd got in the world. What did you say your name was?
Burton. Kate Burton.
Have you got a fella, Kate?
Yes.
Did he ever do anything like this to you? An electric iron. That's all.
Why? Why?
Ask him. He's a man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think maybe this is why Solly King sent you here.
I said he was bright.
Yes. And I suppose you've got your job to do. Dirty as it is.
Oh, not always, Sally. Look after yourself.
You'd better look after your bird. Sorry, love. Look, stay and have a cuppa, yes?
No, I'm all right, really.
Mind you, I'm quite proud of this side.
Yes. Excuse me.
Nice kid.
Yes. I'll see you, Sally.
I hope not.
Shouldn't have brought you.
I'm glad you did.
You're glad?
I've read about the things that people do to other people. I've even seen photos. When you meet somebody like that...
Yes, it's different. Police work's only romantic on paper.
So why do you do it?
It's my life. Always has been.
But it must make you so unfeeling.
I don't think so. It's not all brutality and squalor. There are the laughs as well. Even... well, call it beauty. Look, I'll drop you here. I'll see you at the office later.
If you're not coming down.
I'm going back to see Jack Hanlon. I'll see you to the corner.
Told you he'd use the line.
He's got a bird with him.
I've got eyes. We don't get him now. We get him late.
You sure you're okay?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right, then.
Inspector? Mr. Lewis? Nick!
Go phone the Nick.
You're all right.
Yeah. Bastards.
You all right?
Yes, How about you?
Yes.
Where's Phil Strong?
He's downstairs.
Well, I've been away 2 days. I'm missing the old place. Coffee?
Please.
You heard what happened?
My fellow works for the DPP, remember?
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you. Does this mean the Benny Rogers case is going back to district?
What for?
Well, someone ought to be working on it. You've nearly been killed twice.
Well, because of Benny Rogers.
It's not.
No, Jack Hanlon.
Jack Hanlon?
Yeah, one of those monkeys is cuffed. Seems that Jack was doing an industrial investigation, got too close for someone's comfort.
But they tried to kill you.
Yes, but I'd seen one of them, hadn't I?
I'm glad.
Oh, thank you.
No. I'm glad we're dropping this Benny Rogers thing. That woman.
Well, I'm not dropping it. Give me something to play around with till tomorrow.
Are you leaving tomorrow?
No, I've got to see the AC crime at 4 o'clock. I've seen him 3 times already in the past 2 days, but tomorrow is the big one.
What's going to happen?
Well, he'll probably give me a lollipop board and a school crossing. Hello, Phil. Nick here. Now, listen, can you come out this morning? No, it's not far. Walk in the park. Yes, and Phil, go along to the stores and get a good pair of binoculars, will you? Well, I can't take both of you, can I? I'd like to. See anything now?
Hang on a minute.
See anything now?
Hang on a minute.
What?
I'm coming down.
Well?
Big picture on the wall. Looks like a Picasso. That'll be where the safe is, right?
Oh, is that clear?
Well, I'm not saying you can see the flies on the wallpaper, but it isn't bad.
Well, old Solly would have been right.
Doesn't get you any nearer to find out who done the geezer in, though, does it?
No, but you can't have everything.
So you're dropping the case, then?
No more time, have I?
I'm a bit pleased about that. Kate will be, too.
Well, that's because you're not coppers. False alarm. Come on.
Morning.
Morning. What are you shooting?
Squirrels, eh?
Squirrels?
Oh, gotta keep them down, you know. Pretty little things, but they do hell's own damage to young trees. You come from down by the wall?
That's right.
Oh, well, there's masses of the little beggars down there.
You shoot down there as well?
We shoot everywhere.
Always this time of the year?
Good time to keep them down, isn't it?
How long have you been doing it?
Oh, best part of 6 years, I suppose. Well, I must get on then, gentlemen.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
How the hell could they miss it? Didn't they even question the fella?
That's probably miles away when they found the body.
So Benny's in the tree, early morning. Our friend comes along to shoot his squirrels, and Benny cops it instead.
Your blokes thought he was a villain.
Looking for They were sawn off, weren't they? You saw the angular spread over his face and shoulder.
Yeah, matey with his 12 bore would make the same spread 30 foot away on the ground.
Of course he would. How were they to guess? They had Benny's SP. He moved in circles where quite a lot of people get blown away with sawn-offs. Must have fallen out of that tree before he died to break all those bones. Nasty way to go.
Nick?
Yes?
You going to turn him in?
Who?
He's with the 12 bore, the gamekeeper.
That's not a gamekeeper. That's a walking act of God.